Anyway, can we talk about North now? I've been
Let's do
waiting and
Roos
waiting
now.
and waiting. All right, good. Matt's got the scarf ready. Oh man, so
Is that a Greek flag or is that a Roos flag, man?
it could be both. Look, I've got a lot to say. I was at the game. I was driving to and from Albury from Melbourne today, so long time in the car to just think and digest. Yesterday was obviously a massive high. Today's Monday. We're recording. I thought I'd best maybe just tell the story of the game from my perspective and not drain it. I'll just sort of give some highlights and then we'll get into the regular game review. But
This is good. We haven't really had a chance to really talk about the game.
just an idea. I
So-
haven't even really spoken to you about it, man, which is crazy.
So
But
let's do it.
so I get to the game. Small crowd expected, Melbourne v North Melbourne. So they told us with our general admin ticket, you can go level 1. Certain aisles were available. So I'm like, for sure. Yep, I'll sit level 1. Go take a seat. And I don't know, the vibe was a bit off. It was a bit heavy with Melbourne fans, but a lot of families and young kids and stuff. And we just got a bit unlucky. A kid behind us was just like one of these kids, didn't know the rules and like just yelling random stuff at the wrong time. It's just like, I didn't feel in the game. It was a bit weird, right? So I said to my wife, quarter time, let's just go sit somewhere else. We'll find somewhere. And I know, shout out North Closer to a Flag page on Facebook. I know them and the podcast community, Further North Pod, shout out. They sit in Bay 29 at North games. It's like this vibe sort of place to sit, a more modern, younger fan sort of thing.
Boomer Harvey number.
Boomer Harvey
Fits
number
well.
aisle. So I'm like, let's go there. We didn't have a seat, but we stood, so level 1, standing on those benches right at the back. And honestly, I must say, best call I ever made. The vibe there, packed out full of North fans only. And just like Kanga chants every goal, like jumping up. Like it couldn't have been a better vibe. And it was packed out and as loud as it can get in any section of Marvel. So anyway, watching the game, I think we can all agree that saw the game. North played pretty well from the get-go, but couldn't punish them. And it just seemed like the same old story. We're going to miss chances, same as last week. Are we not going to take our chance? Melbourne at some point will kick on and whatever. And I'll skip to the end because like that last quarter starts, we're up by 3 goals. And every single North fan in the stadium is thinking like, how are we going to stuff this up? When you haven't been a winning team for so long, it's like, I can't wait to see how we're going to blow this one. And hands up, like for sure, that's what I was thinking. First clearance, goal. Second clearance, goal. The elation in that stadium, I was so happy I didn't have a seat. I was jumping like I've never behaved that way at the football. It was the best feeling ever. I wasn't alone. Like everyone's just losing our minds. 6 at one point to start that last quarter, it was 6 inside 50s, 6 goals.
That's just crazy.
And all within like 10 minutes. And then we're just
Insane.
like, at the end there, Bailey Scott's marking it from 55, just like instantly wheeling, bang, 50-meter goal. Like the confidence switch. I know last year against the Pies in the first half, we played the best we've played in years. But that was too much game to go and they caught up, right? This one was just like, I looked up at the scoreboard after a few minutes of the last quarter, we're up at like 40 points. Thinking like, we're going to win. And I still was looking up at that scoreboard every minute, like how much time's left. Like I still didn't have the trust.
Yeah.
And then at a certain point, we're singing the North Melbourne theme song with like 5 minutes to go on loop. And I just could not believe, like I was hands on head just after a certain amount of goals. I'm just like, what am I watching? It was the best feeling ever. I saw George Wardlaw at halftime. That was crazy.
Hey.
Gave him a bit of a massage on the hammy. Said, you'll be right next week. Let's go. But he's a muscular young man. Like he was wearing shorts. Like, man, those calves are insane. Tree trunks.
Mate, as a first year player, I remember his hamstrings, his legs.
Crazy, man.
Big legs.
It was kind of like you seeing Mark Murphy at the F1, except I saw Georgie Wardlaw.
Except you actually saw him.
I gave him a
Wasn't
thumbs
it?
up. I said, yes, Georgie. And he gave me a cheeky thumbs up back.
It's
That was
bad.
nice.
But yeah, that was kind of like, just everything came together that game. Like North, I think we're building something special. To win a game, I know the stats flying around. We haven't won by this much since 2020. COVID affected year against the Crows, who were rebuilding as well.
Yeah.
Besides that, like I think we beat you guys by 39 in 2021. And the year after...
Oh, that was the Teague one. Yeah,
I think so, yeah. And then, that was a great game where Taron Thomas like tore you up.
Yeah.
And then, Larky as well.
Seven
I'll forget that
on
one.
Weeders.
And then there was the one against the Eagles, against Gold Coast to end the Harley Reid Cup, you could say.
Yeah.
Aside from that, every single win we've had has been a goal, maximum 2 goals. To win like that, I haven't felt that feeling live because these are interstate. Like that game against the Eagles was Tassie. The Adelaide one was in Queensland. The Carlton one was at Marvel. I haven't seen a game of 56 or whatever points it was, 59 points live. Maybe ever. to be honest.
You know what that game was? That game was nourishment for North Melbourne supporters.
Man.
Like, because a little win here and there is a little bit of
That's
nourishment.
a David Noble there,
but
but I'll forgive it. That's
No,
all right.
exactly not. But it needed to be done. Shout out to Noble for this one. Nourishment was what was given to us in this game. Like that is just that is an oasis type victory. You know what I mean? That's
man. Pure elation.
We've been in the desert. Let's be fair, right?
Man.
And I'll give my little story of the game, right? So I was at work, unfortunately. I'm trying to watch it during my break. I watched the first quarter and about 5 minutes before the result got spoiled for me. But we were 1-5 and we hit the post 3 times.
Yep.
Melbourne were ahead.
Yep.
I'm thinking I've seen this movie before. Missed opportunity. Another game like the Bulldogs game.
Yep.
It's exactly what I thought was going to happen. But this movie had a plot twist.
Oh, man.
And the plot twist was the best plot
A
twist.
sweet, sweet plot twist.
Oh yeah, it was lovely. So, and so of course I get home and I watch the entire game and stay up till 4 a.m. But needed to be done, right? I'm very happy. We got to give flowers to players like Charlie Comben. Both you and I were hard on him, but like we said, like he had the toughest matchup last week against Darcy. This week, I think he was playing on Daniel Turner or Matt Jefferson, one of those two.
I couldn't tell, mate. He was too busy just intercepting the ball.
Exactly
I didn't know who
right.
he was playing on.
Yeah, honestly, it didn't matter. Like there was no real defensive responsibility, so he was just chopping off everything. And I swear there was that little like period in the game where it was like 4 inside 50s in a row from Melbourne, and he chopped them all off. It was insane, man.
The thing was though, in the second quarter, he dropped 2 sitters.
Yep.
And North, it was right in front of us where we were standing. The North fans were like, bloody hell, Chom. Like last week, I didn't think he had a good game. A lot of fans thought so as well. And then he's dropping these marks and they led to goals. Like it was really bad.
Yeah, the Clary
And then
goal.
he just comes out after half time. It's like he just spent the entire time just like punching a wall. He came out and just was like God level intercept marking. Ridiculous, right? Finn O'Sullivan, there was a moment in front of me where he spun around the Melbourne player. Right in front of me.
Right in front of me.
It was a thing of beauty. Like the evasion that kid has, and he's not getting a lot of it right now. He doesn't even need to.
No,
he's just class, right? Sheasel's not doing anything right now. He's in second gear.
Yeah, he is.
And we're winning and we're competitive. And like at the end of the game, he got his party tricks out, a bit of the over the back handball and so forth. LDU, great game, but wasn't exactly like we're not relying on our best players to have out of this world performances to win games. Robbie Hanson Jr., mate, no one's talking about this kid. He's looking incredible. Getting about 15 touches a game of just pure effectiveness, clean. So many players, man. Constanti's bringing the pressure.
Yep.
The recruits are awesome. Daniel, Darling, Parker, all doing their roles.
Mate, exactly what we needed from each of them, man. Jack Darling he's like, look, he's older, but he's not washed, man.
No.
He's not washed. He's still taking marks. I feel like there's the structure in this forward line now where all of a sudden, even a hat kick in there, you feel like something can happen.
The ball's hitting the deck now, and we have the advantage.
Exactly right.
Robbie Hanson, like I said, Constanti, Curtis. It's no coincidence that Curtis and Zerha have kicked a handful of goals each, both games.
Exactly. And it was unfortunate in round 1 that it was 1 goal forward to Zerha, and if it was 4 goals to 1, we might, I think we would have won.
Well,
but like now he did it this week and,
Correct. Like I'm not going to say we could do no wrong because aside from the last quarter, there was so many skill errors. Like both teams, I was watching like certain points like turnover to turnover. It's like, what are we watching here? It was a pretty poor quality game, but that last quarter was something else. Tristan Jerry, mate, if there's any debate about AA Ruckman this year, like put it in the bin.
Yeah.
It's over. Give it to him. You can argue DeConning and him split it if DeConning keeps it up all year. Like you got to have both in. You can't exclude this guy any longer. By the way, side note here, did you guys see Goodman's comments after the game regarding Max Gawn?
Yeah, apparently he has had some personal stuff
I hope it's all okay, but that was pretty shit form from a coach, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I feel like you try to keep that like,
if it's not public by Max Gawn.
What did he say?
So basically, he wasn't even prompted. Like he just kind of was asked about the matchup and the battle and whatever.
Clearly, Sherry destroyed.
Clearly lost the battle, right? And he basically said, look, there's always a backstory behind every bad performance. Like, we'll leave it there. Then they asked another question, and he's like, yeah, look, there's things that happen in footy, things that happen off the field. we'll just leave it at that. But yeah, there's always an explanation for the performance. It's
But
like
that's just so you're providing excuses, and you're at the same time you're putting this guy's this guy into the spotlight where
Correct.
he obviously he shouldn't be in the spotlight.
for me, it's just poor form. Like if he's going through something, he should either not played or it's obviously a secret for a reason. Like just shut up, honestly. And I can see it with Melbourne, like this whole like kumbaya, hold hands, we're a different team mentality now. It's bullshit. We tore him to shreds, mate.
Yeah.
At one point, Ed Langdon kicked it over Clary's head right to Parker, and we scored a goal at the end. And Clary's just looking at him, like you could tell Petrarca's shaking his head. Like all these, like I said, the kumbaya holding hands in the off-season is a load of shit. We bullied them. Like just one more thing. We bullied them. Like you're thinking last quarter starts. Last week against the Dogs, we got jumped. We were down by 7 points and we got jumped to start that last quarter. This time around, we jumped them. And we're dealing with an on-ball of Gawn, Petrarca, Oli, and Viney. And they couldn't touch the ball, mate. Tommy Powell out of the middle every time.
He's in the thick
LDU
of
every
it.
time. They couldn't get near us. But every time they tried to tackle us, guys like Tommy Powell now are like, get the hell off me. They're becoming men in front of our eyes. It's really exciting.
Mate, all of them though. All of them. Even Will Phil, he's dancing around people as well,
Like if that's the point Melbourne's going to wrestle back momentum, it would have been then. And they just couldn't.
Yeah. No,
And their
100%.
fragile mentality, I think they're in trouble. And it's not to say they're not a good team, but we broke them.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys are big KSI fans, but Tom Powell having Thick of It as his song is so funny.
Crazy.
Man. And like there's a video of KSI reacting to AFL clips in the North Melbourne jersey.
Yeah.
It's beautiful, man. Like it's poetic. So because for me growing up like in high school, KSI, FIFA 13 videos.
Crazy.
Oh,
Can I say a few more things? Sorry, I just don't want to
keep
miss
going,
anything
man.
I wrote. But
Yeah.
at one point in the last quarter, I don't know if this is the final number, but they show the stats on the screen. Scores from stoppages, right? As I was just alluding to the domination. 52-17 at one point. I don't know if it got worse.
Yeah.
I think that's your biggest score from stoppage since 1999.
Would have to be.
Mm.
Mate,
Wow.
it was every clearance was a goal to start that last quarter. It was insane, right?
No, it was, man. It was.
The North fans, I said I was sitting around. There was the Kangaroo chants after every goal. Good vibe. But at one point, and I know they've done this in the past, Toby Pink just did one too many good things in a row right in front of us. And there was just a chant of pink, pink, pink. It was insane. Shout out to that crowd there. Like, Matt's up, we're sitting there from now on, to be honest.
Nah,
with you.
sounds
Like,
good.
there's no way we're not.
Nah, it'd be nice to sit in a group with people where it's just like you have this, similar feeling and similar level of being a degenerate, North Melbourne supporter.
Correct.
As us. So shout out to them, man.
There's two more things.
Yep.
Sorry to drain it.
No, look, if you're going to drain it, this is the week.
This is the one, right?
Come on, man.
I agree with that.
I think the last two things will be funny. So the next one is more to say about North Melbourne's resilience this year, which is in the third quarter, D's had 19 inside 50s to 9, and we won the quarter. So defense that we always say, we shit on it and we say they're not good enough. That just proves to me, A, some of the plays there are good enough, like your Charlie Commons and so forth. B, the setup behind the ball was so much better. They weren't getting good quality entries and we're able to rebound. Last thing's a bit of a fun one. So after the game, I must say, poor form from the North. Whoever sets up the audio system, I'm on level 1. I couldn't even barely hear the theme song pre-game and anyway, during the post-game. But they only played the song once and then started doing interviews on the field. And in true, that clip they always post when we win about Big Daddy, that kid like, Kangaroos.
Yeah, Kangaroos.
I was in that much of a mood. I'm yelling out, Kangaroos. Mind you, I'm still jumping at this point. So I was literally like that kid.
Yeah,
and they obliged and played again. So
love that movie.
It was good, man. Anyway, what a game. Footy's fun again.
It is fun.
We're back,
I'm
baby.
happy for you boys because
Thanks, man.
we've done this podcast. This is the third year. How many wins have you guys? How many times have we sat here on the couch and you guys have actually won in those 3 years?
It'd be 3 each year.
7, yeah,
It's not a lot. So
nah, that's it. So finally, we can enjoy ourselves now as well.
yeah, just like we spent a long time on this game, which is fair enough. But just a quick comment on Melbourne. Like I thought they played pretty well last week, and obviously you guys have flattened them this week. What do you think? Just quickly, what went wrong for them? Do you think?
I think we just beat them where they're strongest, which is in the middle, and they couldn't. I mean, they dealt with it most of the game. We made a lot of errors, so did they. But I just think when they did try and transition it, I think the scouting report on North is like, move it quickly. They're unorganized. If you get it beyond the first wave of pressure, like you're in. And I think they thought like, yeah, let's just move it quickly. We'll try and go. But they didn't execute it so well. And then we were right there on them. Like the pressure was good enough. So I just think we hit them where it hurts.
Yeah.
And I don't think...
I agree with that.
I think many teams say like North's got a good, many fans sorry say North's got a top midfield of young players and when's it going to click? We bullied him.
Yeah, I'll say another little thing where you could say it went wrong for Melbourne as well. They don't have Steve May. And honestly, like he's their backline general. He's taking kick-ins. He's taking the best forward. He's doing everything. So I think that hurts a lot as well. And now that our forward line finally seems to be clicking, having that bigger cog out, that is not helping. That's not helping, so.
I said Adelaide before has kicked like 49 goals in 2 weeks. We kicked 19 this week. And last week against the Dogs, it wasn't too much off though. What was it? It was 14. So we've kicked 33 goals in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Kicked 97 points last week and 125 this week. So we're looking
potent,
all right.
man.
We're getting a bit potent. It's just about that defensive pressure and consistency and not giving away cheap goals.
Exactly right. Yeah, no, because I feel like we did have a few mistakes, but they were earlier on in the game, and I guess they don't matter now. But you know, they're being slowly, we're mitigating that, so it's good.
No, it was a huge step forward in the right direction. But yeah, Melbourne, for me, I saw in person the cracks of mentality, and I'm just thinking,
I did see some dirty looks from Oliver because Oliver had one of his better games. That was kind of back to Oliver's best type of performance, and you could tell he was looking at the rest of his teammates, going, "What's going on, boys?"
Yeah,
you could just see it. You could read it.
He's thinking, I thought I was meant to be the shit.
Yeah, he's like, "I'm back, boys. Why aren't you?"
Exactly.